How's it going, everyone? Thought I'd just give you a quick walk around the garden just to show you what it's looking like. Well, as you can see, it's looking pretty bushy and green. So how about I take you in for a little walk? Well, here we go. You might notice a few different things around here. We decided to get a couple of these little round beds here just for some extra little things. We decided to put some native plants in here just to see how they go. Maybe they'll grow, maybe they won't, who knows. Put a couple tomato suckers in there. They're doing, they've done better, but they're still alive technically, which is good. And you come over, sorry about the dirty backyard. Need to pick some stuff up, but we got a big old thing of catnip for the cats, but strangely enough, the cats don't seem to like it at all. Who knows? The bees definitely seem to like it, that's for certain. And this one over here is just going to be an herb garden, so basil, cilantro, parsley, all that good stuff, and a few others in here. I kind of did it in the shape of like a pizza wedge, so you can kind of see right there, that's one section that I did. There's another section there, another one there, and so on. So we'll see how that comes up. But the yard and everything's looking nice and green. Not like before. Earlier in the summer, it got pretty hot, no rain. I'll take that back in the spring. No rain, so a lot of it was dead and gone, but with this bed, we don't know what we're going to do with it. This is the asparagus bed, but it's just kind of, the asparagus gets so many asparagus bugs on it and so many eggs that it's really not appetizing to eat the asparagus, having to brush off bug eggs all the time. So I think we're just going to abandon the asparagus and turn this into a strawberry bed. There's a couple potatoes that are left over in here. I think that might be a squash. I don't even know at this point. We got some marigolds and some zinnias in this pot. I think you see a bee. Woo! There you go, bee. He's flying around. Some peas that are being strung along the fence beans. There's quite a few on there now. Not looking the happiest, but we'll see how that goes. And same over here. And it's these things, these Japanese beetles. It's my favorite way of getting rid of them, just flicking them off. So let's keep going. Peppers, hot peppers, banana peppers, just peppers. So that's a good thing. They're all getting nice and bushy. Except for that little one right there. Don't know what happened to that. But the Buena Mulatas have gone nuts. Peppers everywhere. We still got little flowers and buds everywhere. I think these are cucumbers? I'll have to ask Jen, I don't know. I probably could look on the label, but I'm too lazy. And we got a couple rows of peas in here, right down the middle. So we have a succession crop of peas where the first batches have already gone through and died, so we planted more for the fall. And we got a bunch of lettuce. I think it's starting to bolt, so I'm not sure how well it's going to do here. But then we have this thing. That's a tomatillo bush, or tomatillo plant, but I have never seen tomatillos get this big. There's just bees and bumblebees and regular honeybees all over this thing. There's some garlic somewhere inside there, so I don't know if that's helped things or what. But they apparently enjoy being planted in close proximity to tomatoes. And if you have a look in there, you can see that some of these tomatoes are looking pretty nice. So we'll see how that develops. This year I did a pepper bed, just nothing but hot peppers, different types. As you can tell, these purple ones, they're called the Buena Mulata, and wow, they are prolific. Just pepper after pepper after pepper. What time did you say pepper? Pepper. Another one here, you can see some more that are growing. Got one little basil plant right in the middle. And just all types of different peppers. I got some melons in the ground here, but I think it's way too late. That's not going to work. I think it's gonna not get to maturity before the frost comes. Oh, look at that. Another Buena Mulata. Absolutely growing things everywhere. And of course, more peppers, and an onion. We experimented with some grow bags this year. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be going very well. I don't know if it's the soil that we put in it, because there's a thought that maybe we had some bad compost this year from our supplier. But we'll see how it goes next year. More strawberries. This bush is getting big, so that's good. We like strawberries. And these here are pawpaw seedlings. So I tried to grow pawpaws. We got some seeds from a local festival, and I think we've got one right there, or next to it. I don't know if those are weeds or what. I have no clue, but we will figure it out as, oh, look at that. It's another one. Interesting. Rocks in there, bad soil, so it's a little dry. I'll probably have to come in here and do some watering in a minute. Yeah, that's bone dry. Maybe put them under some shade or something, maybe in the ground. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think of something. Then we had just some extra jalapenos that we didn't have room for. And then 2 volunteer tomatoes that just are in the ground. I don't know how they got there. I'm going to assume there were some tomatoes last year that fell off the vine and sprouted. There's another one over here. So we're just getting volunteer tomatoes everywhere. Over here, we've done some butternut squash. I think there's a cantaloupe in there. I think there might be a watermelon in here, all kind of together. So I may have to change this next year. Not nearly enough room. But I'm kind of trellising these vines all along the fence here to see what happens, if they're strong enough to hold things. But you can see the big butternut squash in there, and you can see the watermelon right behind it, I think. And you got another squash there, one back there, one there. They're kind of peppered around. They seem to be growing really well here. And some carrots. Carrots have not done too well this year. I think it's been too hot and too dry. Hopefully this will, since we've had some rain recently, they might perk up. And some more tomatoes for a second round of tomatoes for the fall. Some more tomatoes in there for a second round. So the idea is, once these ones are dead and have stopped producing, then these will start producing at, around the same time that these stop. So continuous tomatoes. More tomatoes. More tomatoes. I think we got a bean plant there. Pole bean, looks like. Blueberries are under the netting because the bugs and the birds that get to the blueberries, but they've done really well so far this year. Sorry, train. Train's getting a little loud. I don't know if you can see through there. There's a few blueberries. We've already harvested these a couple of times this year, so that's been really good. And I've got a bed here. I put a little bit of a shade cloth on because this is where the carrots weren't doing so hot. Both of these beds were new this year, this one and this one. We put the new soil in, and everything just did not seem to grow well in the new soil. Maybe it needed time to, I don't know, settle, acclimate. whatever it's got to do. But about halfway through the season so far, the plants started to perk up in it a little bit, but they're still severely stunted and not looking so great. These have been in here all year so far. These tomatoes were put into beds the same time as these ones. This bed was there last year. And tomatillo didn't do so well. Tomatillo that did better is doing better. And in here I've done just a mixture of some beans, some tomatoes, and I think there's some carrots in there, daikon radish, parsnips. That's a whole bunch of different stuff. Here we're getting a little bit of a tomato haul. They're all green, except for one down there. But come back here, you're like, whoa, there they are. And the squash is starting to come over this way a little bit. And some zinnias to attract the pollinators. I might cut these back. I think they've been out for a while, to encourage some new growth on them. But other than that, I think we're doing pretty well. It's cooled off for the past week or so and given us some rain every couple of days, so it's done a world of good. The tomatoes in here and other beds as well. So this is the garden. So we got some dill that's gone to seed. I don't know if you can see little flies and hover flies on there, which is good. Hover flies tend to kill aphids and other little critters that will kill your plants. So yeah. Next part, I will take you for a little walk back to the chickens. See you in a minute. All right, I'm gonna go for a little walk with you here. As I was saying earlier, the weather had been pretty nice for the past couple of weeks. Cooperative with growing food and things in the garden. Good amount of rain, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder sometimes. Just keep things interesting. Well, walking down the driveway here, you can see the little drive we put in, some gravel walking path, so that we're not walking in mud later in mud season. But I've just been coming back every couple times a day, checking all the chickens to make sure there's no more eggs being laid, which I think we might try that again and just see if there's anything there. You can hear them starting to get angry. In case you didn't know, chicken crossing. But when I come out here, these dummies, bless them, they tend to just follow you as you walk down. Because, hard to see in that fence, but because I'm the snack man. I'm the snack man. This has got quite a nice little path worn in it now from us walking through here. Of course, I'm not going to touch the fence, but a nice little reminder. And we come back here and having a munch. We leave some food around for them to forage a little bit. So they tend to do that throughout the day. It's hot today, but they have plenty of shade, so they should be able to stay cool, which is nice. The setup for the charger. Solar panel. I won't shine it up there, but this is let's see, yeah, there we go. That's south facing, so this gets basically sun all day long, 24/7. Well, I say 24/7, that's not true. all day, however many hours the day is long. And some of the apple trees, they've done quite well so far. They are definitely growing like they should, getting even taller. I did some pruning on them earlier in the year to try and encourage some lateral growth of these branches. They're already kind of getting stuck in this cage that I did to protect from deer, but I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do now. I just have to run the risk. And same thing over on this side. It's a bit weird. This side's a little bit bare. But there's looks like I might need to do some more working on this because there looks to be some kind of, I don't know if you can see it here. That stuff. It looks like, I don't know, powder or fuzz. I don't know if it's like a fungus or something, but I need to look into that and see what that is. Maybe some antifungal spray will be necessary. I don't know. But this tree's starting to lean towards the sun a little bit, which I'm not sure if that's correct, but we'll figure it out as we go. 2 new apple trees. These ones are very disease resistant almost to anything. I think this is the Buckeye Gala, I think. You can see it's taken off. It needs to come out of the protector, I think. And then the other one over here, this is called a Liberty apple. And it's in the same. Getting pretty tall. But if you look here, you get all those little fuzzy things. It's almost like the other one, but not as fuzzy. But let me take you over to the outback real quick, and we'll see how that's going. So there we go, we're walking in the outback. Trying to see if there's anything new to report back here. Sorry for the bumpy camera work. But it's looking better back here. There's a lot less poison ivy after the, we'll call it poison ivy mitigation plan was put into effect. So some of these things have been overgrown a little bit. I try and get out here as often if I can, depending on how things are going. So bad camera work. I'll go ahead and do it on front facing so you can see. So this is the hedgerow. As you can see, I've accidentally ran one over with the mower. Where'd it go? There it is. Is that it? No. That's it right there. But it's growing back. And some of the other ones are looking a lot better nowadays. They were looking pretty sad for a while. But since getting some more mulch, they've perked up. And then some other just plain old boxwoods interspersed with some, I call them weeds, but they're native plants. Boxwoods are supposed to be a hedgerow in the future so that they act as a natural barrier to the parkland just across the way there, keeping out, I don't know, animals, stuff. I'm not worried about people. I don't think people are coming over, but nice to have a little bit of separation, that's all. And yeah, all these are plants that we planted earlier in the year. I think these are some winter berries. There's a few different types in here. I forget now. Beautyberry, winterberry. I think there's some elderberries at the end here. I did the elderberries. I didn't have any more of these white things, plastic sheets, so I used chicken wire wrap. I think it's somewhere in here. It's in there. I'm hoping it's still alive. Not sure what part is weeds and what part is the actual plant, but I'm not sure. This area has been cleaned up nicely from the poison ivy. There's still some around, but not nearly as much as there used to be. It was just covered with poison ivy here before. but not anymore. See, some part of this management of the land is getting weeds sprayed out here. Things like poison ivy and some things so that you can get the grass planted eventually and get it to stay. Once you get the grass in, then weed management becomes less of an issue. I've got a lot of grass seed in here, and they're mixed with some clover seeds. It's orchard grass is the type, which is what they use to make hay a lot of the time, or they mix it in with grass to make hay. So some brownness over here is where a lot of the poison ivy is dying off, where it's been sprayed. Wondering if I can see some compare with live poison ivy compared to the yep. So that's some live poison ivy. Leaves of 3, let it be. You'll have the 2 leaves that come off either side to the left and right, and then one, we'll call it extended leaf to the top. That's how you know. And that's a live and healthy one. So let's see if we can find some dead ones here to show you the difference. Yeah, here's a dead one here. That's a dead one, so I'll turn orange and kind of reddish. So that should be gone soon. The very invasive poison ivy, well, I take that back. It's actually a native plant here in Ohio. However, they're very prolific. The animals and the deer they produce a berry in the fall, and they're very tasty to animals, so they enjoy eating it and then spreading it through their poop when they move around. And here I got an orange marker here because I found some trees. This looks like to be a swamp oak right there. Ooh, getting buzzed by bees. Yeah, that's a swamp oak right there, so I want to leave that and let it grow, and get rid of some of these other trees that are in here. I think they're just ash trees, so they'll probably die from the ash borer at some point. But it's more of the same out here. You get some grass, and you get some poison ivy, and you get some of this and some of that. And there really is no rhyme or reason to it. But the pawpaws are back here still. They're doing quite nice. I think the Japanese beetles got to one of them and started eating the leaves, but I think it's going to be fine. Let's see what this one's like. Yep, that one's good. Let's come over to this one. Let's see about this one. That one's got some munching on it from the beetles. This one, it's right by this dead tree. We gotta get something done with this dead tree. Let's see down here. Oh, that one looks nice. That one looks very healthy. Let's see what's down here. Yeah, that's looking healthy as well. So they're looking better. They're looking good. I'm happy with that. I think they're going to survive quite nicely out here. They take a couple years to start fruiting, but once they're in, they're good. Take a little break here in the shade because it is hot. I'm sweating. It's toasty out here today. But you come under the shade of this tree and it feels so much nicer. When I came out to, well, this was months ago, spread the clover seed, I came right here by we call this a turnaround tree, because there used to be a pathway that went back straight there, and then it just kind of ended and went around the tree, so we called it the turnaround, because you go back there and then you turn around and come back. But right here, we'll call it a patch of clover. This is where I just threw out a handful of clover and just said, boop, let's just throw it there. It definitely worked. So that's clover. Let's see what else is over here. Yeah, I see some more poison ivy coming up. Yeah, we don't like that. But you can also see some of that red part where I've sprayed it. So it's one of those things. You kill 10 of them and 11 sprout up. That's just the way it goes. But you keep up with it and you'll eventually get rid of it, I hope. Otherwise, that'll be my life for the next, I don't know, too long. Got a nice big brush pile here. So when Josh and Eli get here, bonfire night. It's probably 4 or 5 feet tall. Well, it's probably 4 feet tall, that big pile. And then I think there's another oak tree over here where this orange marker is at, but I may have accidentally sprayed it previously, so it may not be. Oh, it looks like it survived. Good. So you can tell where it's kind of gone a little funky there, right there. But the rest of it seems to be surviving. So we'll see how long that holds out for. Hopefully for a while. So yeah, so I guess that's really about it. Not much else to show you. Well, you got a wood chip pile and the truck cap that we uncovered back here in the outback. You cut down all them trees and then you see oh, where'd that come from? Thanks, previous owner. Nice. So I guess that's about it for now. I'll wrap it up. It's our wood chip reserve. That's interesting. All the mushrooms are coming up, it's all composting down and disintegrating onto the surface. The grass has taken hold in the shaded part here very nicely. I haven't mowed it yet, but I'm just gonna let it keep coming. Well, you got some egg-laying ladies right there. All right, ladies, say goodbye. Say cheep cheep. Not gonna say anything. There you go. All right, bye.